Hello, welcome to Scrap Time episode 711. My name is Christine, and on today's episode we're making some big fabric and paper loopy bows for your gifts. Today I'm showing you how to make these bows that you can add to your gifts. They're made with newspaper and some fabric. All these centers here are flowers made from the flower class I offer. So if you took that class and you have a pile of flowers hanging around, now is the perfect time to use them. And of course you can alter the size of the flowers. This are the bows. These are quite large, as you can see. But just by changing the length of the paper, the width of the paper, you can alter them for your gift. But we're going to make some nice big ones because I have some nice big gifts I am giving away this holiday season. So I'll show you how to do this. So you start by some newspaper. Here in the city we have a variety of free newspapers. So they're not as long as your typical newspaper. You can use any newspaper you want, and again you can alter the length of the paper. So I have a strip. This is the full height of the paper that I was using, which was fine with me. And I've cut it 2 inches wide. And now I need to make my loop. So what I do is I put some glue at this end. I put a bit of glue at this end. And then they sort of meet in the middle. And you want to keep that part in a loop. You don't want to flatten it. Just like that. And so I have a couple here I've already done. And now I'm just going to glue them together to form the base like this. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue here. And then a bit of glue there. Just like that. Now for the next layer, I like to use some fabric. I find it just adds another texture and a bit of color to it. So this time I am using 1-inch strips and I'm layering them on. I just wanted to show you a trick I found. What I did is I cut my fabric or tore it into a 2-inch strip, and then I just like to get my scissors and sort of eyeball it and cut it in half. And that way I just found it easier to work with the 2-inch strips rather than cutting a whole pile of 1-inch strips. So that's a little tip and trick. So now I'm going to put some glue on that. There. And there. Now we're going to come in with another paper layer. And again, I did 1-inch strips for this layer. And we're going to just fill it in the spots there. And I made all these loops the exact same way as that very first one I showed you. I cut it and then put glue on each end to make the loop. Now because of the fabric, you want to be using nice wet adhesive such as this 450 quick dry or a zip dry or fabric tack. If you were only using paper, then you could, like this is newspaper, so you could use any adhesive pretty much. It's a very thin material, so most adhesives will hold it together. And I just want to show you that same trick for these 1-inch strips is I start with the 2-inch strip and then I just cut it in half like this. And I just found it easier to work with and quicker than doing a whole pile of 1-inch strips. So now it's time to add something to the middle. And you can add anything. It can be a little ornament you have. It could be another flowers you made. Whatever you want to add. I have a couple flowers here, again from my flower class I offered. And because this paper here had this blue and green, I think I'm going to use this one with the blue and green. And I'm just going to put glue all over the bottom and glue it on. And I have a fabulous little flower. Great way to use your newspaper, and you can use ribbon or fabric or even clothes you want to rip up, whatever you have for the other little color. You can even just use scrapbook paper. But it's a fun flower to add to your gifts this holiday season. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm showing you some new dies from Lifestyle Crafts. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.